So here we are up in the mountains of Michoacan, or no?
Yeah, we're in Michoacan.
It's not.
It's not Estado de Mexico
Mexican
anymore.
state?
No.
Anyway, we are right in the spot where all the monarch butterflies come. Actually, we did it last year. This is the same spot we stayed at. Just through the woods here. A little walk we did in the morning. Maybe about, what, 15 months ago?
Yeah.
And, man, the whole trees were, like, full of
like
monarch
heavy
butterflies.
with
It was,
monarch
like,
butterflies.
Super crazy.
I think they said from, like, November to March, it's, like, peak time. So there's none anymore, but...
And then they fly back to Canada.
Yeah.
17 generations to fly back to Canada. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
17 generations. So that means not one single one makes its way, like, all the way. You know what I mean? Crazy. Anyway... So last year we also stopped in this beautiful spot. Nice, like field behind us. There's like cows grazing, birds chirping. It's like super beautiful. You might actually hear some thunder rumbling because it's been kind of happening all around us. Sprinkled a little bit, but we're okay now. Anyway, we're gonna watch the video of us going to the Barrancas del Cobre and taking the El Chepe train, and we're going to talk about it as it goes.
Train is pulling into the station and giving us its little boop boop. Here we go.
So we parked our van in El Fuerte in a little old lady's backyard. Logan slept in the tent, my brother, and here we are. And there's the whole time there was people selling trinkets, and there was people walking up and down the train selling. And then this guy, one minute he was selling us, you know, I don't know, gorditas or whatever, and the next minute he's like dancing, and we didn't give him any money, but he accepted our gift of frijoles.
Yeah,
nachos.
we made like refried beans and nacho chips, and he partook. So
Dancing for frijoles.
yeah. Yeah.
And after the train, when we got there, we did there's kind of like a little adventure park when you get to the Barrancas, and we decided to do the 7 zip lines and 2 bridges. 7 zip lines and 2 puentes.
Over the largest canyon in the world.
Oh, here are little technical difficulties there. And here we are, the first one, which was, I think, one of the longest.
Yeah. I thought I was going to die when they were explaining everything in Spanish, and I was only catching every, like, 3rd word. The look on my face looked like I was about to go to the gallows. It was pretty freaky.
There was one guy that paid and everything, and then panicked and didn't do it.
Yeah. And you don't get your money back.
Yeah, right at the last minute there. And then Lindsay actually did it.
But it was awesome. The guides were like super supportive and encouraging. So once they clipped you in, that was it. You didn't really have time to think twice. And yeah, after the first one was golden. Oh
man, the view from the zip line over the canyon was epic.
Yeah.
And the canyon is full of people living in it. You know, it would be like the Grand Canyon with little houses everywhere. It was so crazy, I thought.
So this is, there were 2 bridges that we had to cross over the canyon. For me, I was like more freaked out by crossing the bridges than the zip lines themselves, but like pretty epic views from up there. But every time you go, like every time I went on one of the zip lines, you kind of start out, and you can see in this video here that there's some ground kind of right next to the platform, and then the ground drops away, and every time the ground dropped away, my stomach just went up into my throat. It was crazy.
And then here's the one we gotta take. We gotta double up.
Yeah, so there was one zip line that was over 1 kilometer long, and it was too long for a single person to take it because a single person wouldn't be heavy enough to make it. So they'd make it about like 2/3 or 3/4 of the way there, and then they'd have to kind of like pull themselves to the platform. So you had to double up so you'd be heavy enough to actually make the whole trip across.
No.
Will you be the person in behind? See. And I'll hold your little legs up.
I thought that was weird. The break was just like they gave you gloves and you just had to grab onto the cable and slow yourself down if you had to. But you know, I thought it was pretty good, pretty awesome, like awesome experience, and like the quality of the zip lines was pretty top notch. Actually, it was way more dangerous. Like if you see here, right next to the trail, you could just fall right down the cliff. There was you weren't tied in at that point. That was the most dangerous part.
Yeah, you weren't tied in.
The rest of the time, you were clipped in.
There was no fence, just
here,
like a little painted white line.
Boop, you could fall right off. Oh yeah, I love the dog. There's just a dog out there, man.
Yeah. So there's people living all through the canyon, which is crazy. It'd be like people living at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. And so, yeah, they'd have like livestock down there, their dogs.
Like you can see their houses right here. Boom,
yeah.
Perfect shot, perfect timing. This is from the gondola on the way back. So we've done the 7 zip lines now, and now we're just heading back to the main thing. And yeah, it's full of houses. Crazy. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
Look at that view, man.
Epic. So
I have to go back and do the Caballo Blanco drive. And here was the glass floor at the end from the like main tower or whatever.
So here we are back on the train heading back to El Fuerte. And Logan got off after us. He took the train all the way back to Los Mochis.
So here's some epic footage of just the train cruising back through the mountains and tons of bridges. I forget the number of bridges we had to take. It was crazy, man.
And so on this train ride, you were actually allowed to like hang out between the cars and like poke your head out the side of the train, which is crazy because I feel like that's not a normal thing anywhere. So you'd have to kind of like watch out for the tunnels and stuff like that. You wouldn't want to get like your fucking head clipped by your head clipped by the tunnels. But yeah, you know, we had beer and sotol and all kinds of goodies with us that we were snacking on the whole way, and it was
and then
awesome.
Here's a tunnel. I had to pull the camera in right at the last second so I wouldn't get clipped by the tunnel wall. And just super beautiful. Like you see the beautiful mountains, the Sierra Madre.
Yeah.
Follow little rivers, lakes.
And all the way through.
Jungly, lush, dry. Got up to like pine forest up in the at the like highest elevation around Creel. Like around here is almost more jungly, but.
So this is interesting. So on the way up, you're climbing so much that the train needed 5 engines at the front of the train in order to pull the train up the mountain. And on the way back down, the train only needed a single engine to get back down, obviously, because it's
which is breaking.
Going down. Yeah,
it's slowing us down.
Yeah. And it's crazy, not just in the middle of the canyon, but all the way through that train ride. And when you think you're in the middle of nowhere, there's just like little towns, little houses, people everywhere. Incredible.
Yeah, sweet train ride. Highly recommended.
Yeah.